I think the best piece of advice I ever got came from my mother when I was 12 years old. I was a paper boy. I delivered the Janesville Gazette, a small daily in southern Wisconsin, and there was usually an advertising supplement I had to insert. As I spent that time with the paper, 15 or 20 minutes each day, I began to read the front page, something I had never done before. Up to that point, I had only read the sports, the comics, and the kids' page. The problem was, I didn't understand most of what I was reading. I couldn't decipher the journalistic style, couldn't pronounce in my head the names of foreign leaders and cities. There were so many acronyms, agencies, names, and titles to keep straight, economic concepts and political arguments that escaped me. One day I told my mother that I was a bit frustrated. Standing at the kitchen sink, peeling potatoes, she turned to me and told me, "Don't worry about it. The important thing is to stay with it. Keep reading, and little by little, you'll begin to understand." This modest, off-the-cuff lesson served me well. I took her advice and quickly became the resident news junkie of my junior high. Over the years, I began to apply the lesson to other situations in my life. When I packed my van and moved from my small Wisconsin town to the San Francisco Bay Area, I found it and the people to be nearly unfathomable. But I stayed with it, paid attention to my new surroundings, the sounds and smells. I slowly learned the many things a new home has to teach. In college, where I studied philosophy, I could approach dense works like Nietzsche's On the Genealogy of Morals, or even Kant's Critique of Pure Reason, with confidence. Lost after the initial reading, I would remember my mother peeling potatoes and just have another go. Will Rogers said he never met a man he didn't like. With my mother's advice as a guide, I found that to be true for me as well. If I take the time to understand, if I'm patient through the learning curve, people will reveal the part of them that naturally connects us all. I like everybody I know. The toughest area for me to follow Mom's advice is with art, music, poetry. It's so easy to stay with what you know. It's hard to comprehend the hidden value of a performance, an installation, a painting, a poem, or a piece of music that doesn't immediately resonate with your own comfort zone. But I'm staying with it, because little by little, you begin to understand. And with understanding comes connection, growth, insight, and new possibilities. It works with ideas. It works on people. It works with places. And it works for art. It's the NeoRadio Hour. Hi, I'm Peter Donalds, and this is the NeoRadio Hour, home of independent writers, musicians, and home tapers, the folk artists of the electronic age. We've got the usual eclectic mix of scenes, stories, and sound sculpture, along with some original music and some neo bits from our own studios. Visits from our regulars, the enigmatic adventurer Frank the Courier, and the caustic yet affable Mr. Sunshine. In our conversation collage tonight, it's writer and musician Ron Taormina. We hope to resonate with your comfort zone, but if we don't, stay with us. It's the NeoRadio Hour, independent audio art.
Sometimes she'd love me like a fight, a slap, unexpected and total. No exceptions, gaps, or reservations. Just the passion that said she wanted me. At least I think that's what she wanted. Now I don't mind such total passion, like the cannibal and the sacrificial lamb. It's here, a spasm, or better, a seizure, therefore real. Accordingly, I need it. But sometimes I liked it when she loved me as a song, soft and floating, smoke caressing skin. Then I would love her as a dog loves, total, unrepentant, shameless, and perpetual. In that hazy penumbra of maybe just me, I'd step on her toe, just enough to caffeinate the awareness of us being so awkwardly two. She'd go mildly ballistic, think I was selfish. Imagine that. I tried to tell her that we were dancing, as sober drunken fools do, intoxicated on dreams, storms, and full moonshine. We dangled there, suspended by a thread, 2 inches above solid ground. Regardless, it's still a long way down. I told her to hate me if she must, but love me when she did. I believe she did.
I really like singing, but I wouldn't consider myself a singer. I'm not a singing teacher. I couldn't make a living singing. And I like to dance, and I'm a pretty good dancer, but I wouldn't consider myself a dancer. I'm not a dance teacher. And I like to talk. I really like talking, but I wouldn't consider myself a talker. I'm not a talking teacher. They never pay me just to talk. I'm a woman. I look like a woman. I have the body of a woman, but sometimes I just don't act like a woman acts. Sometimes I act like a man, but I'm not a man, and I don't feel like a man, but I don't feel like a woman either, at least not the way my mother said women feel. So I'm not really a woman, and I'm not really a man, and sometimes I think I'm somewhere in between. So I'm not really a woman, and I'm not really a man, and sometimes I think I'm somewhere in between. I live in the country. I like the quiet in the trees, but sometimes I need stimulation. Sometimes I go to the city for a while. But I'm not really a city person, and I'm not really a country person, and I find myself alone more and more lately, driving back and forth between the city and the country, and I'm driving hard now. I'm trying to find a way to get home. I like to sing. I really like singing, but I wouldn't consider myself a singer. I'm not a singing teacher. And I'm not an Indian. I like the Indian way of living, close to the earth and harmony with nature, but it's 1989 and you could say I'm a white person. But I'm not really white, and I don't like a lot of things white people do, but I'm not Indian either. I'm not Native American. You could say I'm American. I pay taxes, but I don't like television, and I find myself alone more and more lately, driving back and forth between the city and the country, and I'm driving hard now. I'm trying to find a way to get. I have a sister. I love my sister, but I'm not like my sister. I like my sister, but I'm not myself with my sister. When I'm with my sister, I'm sort of a part of my sister. And just last week, my sister told me about Lucifer and how he's this body out there and how he's trying to steal our souls. And I said, devils, not just out there, Kathy. I said, devils, not just out there, Kathy. He's traveling somewhere between us. And I find myself alone more and more lately, driving back and forth between the city and the country, and I'm driving hard now. I'm trying to find a way to the water, trying to find a way to get home.
The NeoRadio Hour.
Say you need some changes, you know what's right for you. I'd like to help if I can. What can I do? 'Cause I've known somebody who was a lot like you. He's been through many things and shares a bond with you. Can't go on the same old way. Though you tried, you can't seem to get away. Dead end ways will haunt you more and more each passing day. You can't go on the same old way. Got off on the wrong street, went down the wrong track, blindly thought I was heading for the things I lacked. Finally it hit me, somewhere I lost my heart. I recaptured the dream I had. I made a brand new start. You can't go on the same old way. Though you try, you can't seem to get away. The dead end ways will haunt you more and more each passing day. You can't go on the same old way. Yep. Well, there ain't nothing that can keep you down. There's nothing that can change the way you really feel. You can't go on the same old way. Though you try, you can't seem to get away. Dead end ways will haunt you more and more each passing day. You can't go on the same old way. You can't go on the same old way, the same old way. You can't go on the same old way.
Bill? Yeah, it's me.
Lenny?
Yeah, I know it's late.
Lenny, what are you doing calling this
Bill,
time?
do you
of night?
ever wonder what happened to Mama?
Oh, Lenny.
Nah,
Lenny, we agreed many
I know,
times.
I know we agreed.
we-
That was a long time ago, Bill. We agreed we weren't going to talk about this.
Yeah, and we did agree, didn't we?
And well, you know, it's been on my mind lately.
Well, get it off your
Bill,
mind, boy.
And
Lenny,
well,
this ain't the time
it's,
to do this.
It's time.
No, it's not the time, Lenny. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's time we talk about this.
Lenny,
Now, what can you tell me, Bill? I mean,
there's nothing I can tell you, Lenny. We've been through this.
I don't have
Well,
any memories.
You certainly have you
and,
certainly have memories of when we were kids.
Jaylene said that
What's Jaylene got to do
that
with
you
it?
did.
Huh? What?
Well, I
Jaylene?
talked to her. Well, okay.
When did you talk to her?
I talked to Jaylene. I talked to her yesterday, as a matter of
Now I
fact.
told you. Now Jaylene ain't none of your concern. And what are you doing talking
this
to
ain't
her
about,
anyway?
This ain't about Jaylene.
Well, yeah, it just became
Bill.
about Jaylene. It just became about Jaylene.
No.
I'll tell you that right now because you
Now-
don't talk to her.
Listen, you two.
Is that clear, boy?
Hey, you two been divorced now for how many?
Yeah.
3 years.
3 years in September.
And
Not-
she said you knew about Mama.
We're not going to do this, Lenny. Jaylene's got lots of ideas in her head.
Yeah, and it's time we talk about them.
No, it is not time, Lenny.
Because
time's been here and gone, long gone.
Jayleen's got information.
It's not time because
that she's,
you know what? Because Jaylene got lots of ideas in her head.
Yeah.
And she got ideas about me and about you and about Mama that just you can't listen to that woman. You know this about her.
Well, I don't
Mama
know.
is gone, and we ain't
Yeah.
going back there.
Bill,
Now you hang up and you go to sleep.
Bill, we got to
You
talk.
hang up and you go to sleep, Lenny.
We got to talk about this, Bill.
I'll talk to you in the morning. You hang up now. We ain't gonna go there, Lenny. We ain't gonna go there.
Dear Cyclops woke in his cave. The light was at the opening. Outside he could smell the grass, the trees, and the herbs as they shot out their odor under the morning dew. Bees swarmed around their wooden hives. The ravens cried and his goats, his lovely friends, bleated at the gate. Spring. The Cyclops liked that season best. Persephone had died and she was coming back. Her arms spread over the land like the wind, breathing in him, a hold of him. She whispered through the land. She stretched and unfurled. Ah, today, said the Cyclops. His goats, his lovely friends, bleated and demanded to be let from the cave. Cyclops rose. He stretched his hairy arms. Ah, today. Then, I'm coming, my friends. He crouched, stiff, and went to his milling wards. They turned around him, the oldest his he-goat, pressed his horns against Cyclops' leg. Cyclops reached down and scratched the parted spot, then ran a hand over the knotted horn. The she-goats pushed around him. He spread open the gate, and those with swollen udders waited at his leg, waiting to be milked. Cyclops found his stool. He readied his bucket. 1, 2, 3. He milked his lovely friends. They opened their mouths and called to one another. The he-goat went to a rock and picked at the spring grass. Ah, how he loved them. How he loved the day. How he loved everything. Simple Cyclops, not worthy of great thought, was great instead in size. His arms were like trees, his legs were like cliffs. He scratched his eye and looked over his land. Below was the valley. Above were the slopes where he played as a child. Across the hills were his neighbors, and beyond those more neighbors still. Not many left. Just a few in Cyclops' land. That was before they came, the little ones, born with 2 eyes. They were clever. They spoke fast and were fond of wine. One night they found their way to his cave, and they wrapped his wife in words, and slaughtered his goats, and they feasted, and they danced. And when they saw she was going to eat them, they stole her eye, and left her with nothing. When they chased the little men to the sea, they followed them to their boats, and even swam after them. But the little ones were clever, and they stole away. And each summer they came and took one other. They stole their goats, and they lanced their eyes. This Cyclops was thinking as he milked his lovely goats. He spread their creamy milk in his bucket. Then he picked up his fare and returned to his cave. There he took down his honey and mixed it in his milk. He sat in the spot where his wife once slept. He could feel her worn spot in the stone. He could smell her being. Ah, today, he sighed. For though he was unhappy she was gone, the spring could not help but to fill him.
You're listening to the NeoRadio Hour. Independent. Audio. Art.
I'd always fooled around with words. 2 years ago, I fooled around with words, gave speeches in my car all the time, practicing poetry, practicing this and that. And so, March 29th, 1987, I came home after a Sunday job and was full of feeling for one reason or another, and I wrote this first thing called Censure. Abrogate. Climb midst the elephants and regions of sensuality. Fall aglaze the stew of revenge. Pop over the nuts of effusion, and finally, yes, finally erase the mentality of mud, sausage, and emporiums of diminutive waste. Cause for eucalyptus oil dabbled on the haunches of a eunuch horse? No, merely an envelope of reproval to stand agog amidst the chambers of horrors relevant to the event. Like a river, and with tributaries going along with the river. So certain words are like musical notes. They shine and they open like the river, you know. And the tributaries go tangentially out the river and may meet other tributaries and form a new river of their own. So a lot of it is like pictures you see of the aorta, of the heart, and the canals, and the main portions of blood flowing through those canals, or secondary portions of blood flowing through those canals. It can be anything. Like John Handy once said about music, to some people it's sex, to other people it's a waterfall, to somebody else it's something else. Writing is beautiful because the upheaval given to us by Henry Miller 70 years ago was like he used not only the left side verbiage, words, but he used the right side music of the brain.
Write as fast as you think?
This one I did because, man, it was on my mind stone like a bugger in heaven, man. It was really on my mind. Well, to me, stream of consciousness is left to right. But in answer to stream of consciousness, you're going to have to give some cognitive meaning to what, why it was brought over to this side. It has to form an envelope or a circle or an oval. It has to go back and forth, back and forth. I'm looking for music. I'm looking for certain sounds, something that I haven't heard yet, really, or I get touches of, but then when I analyze it, it burdens me. So possibly analytical sorts of things that I do are proving to be. See, I can't even think of the words anymore because I don't think much. I was thinking my ass off last year. I don't know. I don't know. This is fine. This stuff is fine. A lot of it is like Henry Miller, or just an up version of Henry Miller. And I look at my work right now. Generally in music, it just seems to be versions of other people. Sonny Rollins, Coltrane, Miles Davis, and Charlie Parker. They seem to be, I acknowledge that I don't think I've gone very far past where they're going, and I can't do any more, I can't think of any more, other than wide intervals, and I do wide intervals on piano, so it's just all like these interlocking directorates that are banging. They are saying, abrogate. They're telling me, abrogate, stop what you are doing, and that's all they say. They don't say, you'll find it. No, nothing like that. It's just like a search. I'm not in the search anymore. I refuse to be in the search.
Writer and musician Ron Taormina in the conversation collage. I'm Peter Donalds. You're listening to the NeoRadio Hour. And just a reminder here at the midway point of the program, we'd like to hear from you. Everything you've heard so far, is material provided by independent musicians, writers, artists, poets, actors. So contribute your work if you've got something on the shelf, or if we've inspired you to create, even better. And in addition to playing your work, if you have some original ideas on life and art, maybe you'll be featured in the conversation collage. There's still plenty more to come. You're listening to the NeoRadio Hour. Hey, big brother.
Well,
how
hey,
you doing this morning?
Well, hey, Lenny, how are you doing? Did you get any sleep last night?
Yeah.
How's,
Well, you know what?
Man, Lenny,
Everything's, you know,
what?
let's
it was quite a night we had.
yeah, we're okay. So what's
okay?
what's on for you today?
Well,
You gonna be by the office?
well, yeah. Are you going to be there later? Is
I don't
Jaylene
know.
going to be there?
Yeah, she was.
Good old Jaylene,
Yeah,
the
she'll
office
be there.
queen. Where else would she be? She ain't welcome anywhere else in
I
town.
don't.
Do you ever see what she? And we come walking in the door, and it's like there's some guy running out the back door, and she's fixing her lipstick or something. You know, if she got like a business
Don't-
going under our
no.
roof here, we ought to get a cut of it, don't you
say
think?
that. Don't you tell anybody I laughed at that either.
Yeah. Now, Lenny. Now, in all seriousness about last night. Now
we don't have to.
I'm not kidding about Jaylene. Now,
I know it. I know it.
You know, obviously we got to talk to her at the office, but I don't expect you talking to her on weekends. Now,
I know.
just, you know.
Strictly business. I
Okay,
know
well,
it.
all right,
I know.
okay, we're straight on this?
Yeah. Okay.
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 All right. I'll see you later.
Oh, okay.
All right, bye-bye.
I'll see you, Bill. Jaylene. Jaylene. Jaylene, get your butt out of the shower. You're going to be late for work.
The weather. Everybody complains about it, but nobody knows what the hell they're talking about. I once lived in a part of the country that had nearly perfect weather year-round, except for a couple weeks of rain that the locals called winter. These natives and happy transplants would prattle on like yellow jacket realtors about what a perfect location it was. Conveniently located at the center of a web of freeways, the mountains were just an hour or two away anytime you wanted to play in the snow. The ocean was about an hour in the other direction for summertime fun. An hour or two north, there were actual trees. These comfortable, superior people had it all, and believed in their hearts that you'd have to be nuts to live anywhere else on the planet. The weather, the Earth's most fundamental expression of its nature, had become just another consumer option they could choose at their whim. Like renting a video, like ordering a pizza, like buying a new suit. Hey, this is not a pleasure cruise around here where you choose between shuffleboard or water volleyball. This is the goddamn planet we're talking about. You can't order everything a la carte. You got to take the combination. We're not just along for the ride, man. We're helping to steer this thing. We are not on the Earth. We are of the Earth. You want to take a walk in the woods? Rake your own leaves. Get out of the air conditioning and sweat a little every day if you expect to have the right to go swimming. You want to play? You got to pay. I'd like to sit in a booth at the foot of the mountain and check qualifications. Oh, you want to go skiing? Sure, yes, sir. Okay, I'll just need to see some verification that it snows where you live. Okay, good. Now, if you just sign this affidavit that you shovel your own driveway. Yep, just sign here. Yeah, initial there. Okay, you brought a witness along? Good, yes, ma'am. All right, okay, you sign right there. All right, good, okay. All right, your documentation will all be verified. If there are any discrepancies, we'll come get you. Have a good time. I heard some joker on public radio the other day talking about the latest modern condition, light deficiency syndrome. It seems during the winter months here on Turtle Island, people aren't getting enough sunlight and consequently have a lack of energy. He and the host were enthusiastically bandying about possible solutions, especially something called light therapy. Your basic tanning booth, I guess, but with this one, your insurance company, that is your fellow Americans, pick up the bill, and the doctor who writes the prescription can buy a new sand wedge. Not once in the hour did it occur to either the esteemed expert or the caring host that maybe it's natural to slow down during the winter, or that our traditional inflexible daytime work hours were inappropriate. The need to maintain our hectic pace of consumption and production were taken as a given. For these morons, the fact that our bodies have rhythms and cycles that are in sync with the rhythms and cycles of the Earth was something to be avoided, to be cured, to be overcome. You think it's a coincidence that every northern culture has its primary religious celebration on or around the winter solstice? The dark month surrounding December 21st is a time to anticipate the return of the light, a time to reflect, a time to renew. It's hot. It's cold. The wind blows. Sometimes it rains. Sometimes it snows. The light comes and goes with the tilt of the earth. Our bodies, our cultures are affected by it all. The weather is not an enemy to be eluded Monday through Friday and a cheap amusement on weekends. It's in our own enlightened self-interest to reconnect. Until we do, environmentalism is doomed. I know you. You got to know something is yours before you'll take care of it. So stop bitching about it and get out into it. Let yourself feel hot. Let yourself feel cold. Walk in the rain, shovel a sidewalk, climb a tree, gain 10 pounds, and read some good books over the winter. Next time a summer storm rolls in, go outside, look up, and be part of the show. This is Mr. Sunshine.
Mind is at least half of the reciprocal of all these nervous impulses, throughout the body that it receives. Then to influence that, you take medicine to open up certain regions, and you'd feel a certain way because the way they would register in your mind, and you could start going back and forth between the left side, the right side, which, according to my wife, is antiquated now. It's not supposed to be the hip thinking of the hour. Then, if you transcend even that, you're on an absolute platonic plane with God, or with good, or with creativity, or with who knows. The big words were a big thing. I thought I was going to find the motive for music that had been lost on me, I thought. And then I'd do it irrespective of whether there's a God or not. I thought I was going to find it through doing that, but I didn't. Did I write it fast?
So you think you paid your dues?
I do most of the time, but I guess there's another part of me that says, man, they're just starting. It takes people like you telling me that what I play is important, and I need that. I need that.
Sit on your mouth and break open the pie that stains it. Crease your neck and part your eyebrows. If you do this, not only will you sell
your rump to the highest bidder. But you might even satisfy your desire to lubricate your will and untangle your heart. You think I'm a stranger when I talk to you this way. I'm a dude with a mission. Shit! I only saddle lions to their tamers when too much meat is thrown into their cages. I don't stop myself from saying the truth about anything. If only my mouth don't get too dry and my Peter don't get too hard. Listen, all this talk I hear lately about Moses riding on the chariots of the Roman soldiers at the Red Sea to get across the gorge that much easier is bullshit. Yeah, so much bullshit. Christ. Push your way through the tantalizing bodies of land round Southeast Asia and weep on the people there. Their reign is steeped in the embellishments of sin. You heard me! Sin! Sin that takes away my hard-on and gives me a liability to circulate my hose among openings of a trellis in France. Dirty. Damn right, it's dirty. All of it is! Life just creeps along from stitch to stitch, crevice to crevice, without really garnering so much as a teardrop to my mother's hope chest. So much rancor and shit mixed in together that not even a child could kick his father in the ass and get away with it. Presidents pay men to guard them from their tones and constituents. Only the good Lord now and then steps in to rectify the situation. What does he do? Not much. What can he do? If he creates the Son of God, people kill him. If he creates miracles, then the passage of time and people's mouths destroy the original intention of the miracle, so that all the charm and meaning of the thing is destroyed. Good? What did you say? Good? I don't really know if anything exists is good before, now, or ever. It really pushes me to saturate myself with duty. You know, good old, homely, honest duty. If you commit yourself to anything along the way, you'll pay so many dues, at least 51%, that the dues will own the corporation of commitment, and you'll spend the rest of your damn days in hell figuring out, was it worth it? Was it worth it? I don't have any forthright theories on that. Only that I live here too, and that I blow off a lot of hot air now and then, and that if nobody listens, well, it's just not that important. What's important? I don't know. Maybe only the fact that we're all here together doing something, anything, to pass the good old time away. Maybe something might not happen someday. So just nothing will need be said to not explain the way we do things around here. Maybe nobody will never satisfy the non-desire to not churn out more bullshit. And maybe, just maybe, I can have no sex with just myself and not even live here.
The NeoRadio Hour.
Hey, Lanny. Pick up, man. Pick up the phone, man. Where are you? Jaylene? Pick up. Why wouldn't they be at the office? I don't know. The office got to be open. Who?
It's Bill.
Pick up the phone, man. Where are you guys?
Bill's on the machine.
Listen, Lenny. Lenny, it's Bill. I gotta talk. I gotta talk to you. I don't want to leave this on a message machine. I gotta talk to you. So you, I don't know. I'll come down. I don't know why the hell you're not picking up this phone, Mama. I'm taking care of. Lenny, you better come over here.
Smiling pillows, it's like 1, 2, 3 smiling pillows, just like ABC. Smiling pillows for a happy spree in lands where you dream. Smiling pillows make it going great. Smiling pillows for the magic gate. Smiling pillows, there's no need to wait in lands where you dream. Smiling pillows, just you wait and see. Smiling pillows for your ecstasy. Smiling pillows, they're your destiny in lands where you dream. Smiling pillows, it's like 1, 2, 3 smiling pillows, just like ABC. Smiling pillows for a happy spree in lands where you dream. Smiling pillows.
Frank. I have a bicycle shop in Saigon. Business has been great this year, so I thought I'd take a ride up to Shanghai. Check out what's new in bicycle bells and the other sounds. It's a great town to rise with. Different from LA or San Francisco, Washington, D.C., Hong Kong, London, Philadelphia, PA, Shippensville, Rohnert Park. Out in town. Hey, nice Lot 38 you got there. Not what I'm looking for, though. City of Shanghai, Model 5. 1979. I got one of those. Oh, look out. Oh, hear that? Yes, sir, sir. Yes. Oh, wow. Boy, I gotta learn this language. Sir, yes, your bicycle bell. It's really cool, man. I'm Frank. I have a bicycle shop in Saigon. Hey, if you're ever over there, look me up. Yeah, I can make you a deal. I have maps in Chinese and English, $2 Hong Kong. Yeah, sure, stop by.
The NeoRadio Hour is written and produced by Peter Donalds and Frank Skillman. Contributing artists tonight, Claire Blotter, Todd Gilbert, E.G. Willie, Ken Klinger, and Seth Evans. In the conversation collage, it was writer and musician Ron Taormina. It's the NeoRadio Hour, independent audio art. Thanks for listening. I hope you taped it. This is Peter Donalds.